SOKUDOKU BENKYOUZYUTU-KAGIRARETA ZIKAN de SA with TSUKERU. Author, Masami Atsud. Translator, Yunqing Xiao. The principle of rapid and massive rotation. Only by reading quickly can you truly understand. The second reading is faster than the first. Simply put, no matter what book it is, always read it rapidly and in large quantities. One complete reading from start to finish counts as one rotation. Rotation means repeatedly going through the content. Based on the author's exam preparation experience. Basically, he reviews all past exam papers every day. So within less than a month before the exam, he has rotated through them over 100 times. Even on the exam day and during rest periods, he rotates through the content over 10 times. Of course, you need to define the rotation scope. Don't just focus on past exam papers. Start with an introductory book. Because introductory books cover the fundamental knowledge of that field. Rapidly rotate through the introductory book. Once you become very comfortable and fast at rotating, expand the scope to other books. Most exams only require around 70% of the total score to pass. Quick reading allows you to repeat the content more times, which in turn improves your quick reading ability. This creates a multiplier effect. During this process, your brain will be trained to become increasingly powerful. The most important aspect of the superfast reading method is to cultivate a mindset of rotating calmly and confidently. Maintain the attitude that you will rotate through it again. Because the second reading is faster than the first, the speed will keep increasing. Comprehension ability naturally improves with training. Continuous repeated reading also enhances memory. Similar to the concept of reading a book 100 times reveals its meaning. Even for people who are not used to reading, if they use fragmented time, they can read a portion at a time. After 100 rotations, it becomes very difficult to forget the content. Book title, preface, afterword, table of contents, chapter titles. Spend less than 5 minutes per day. Rapidly and massively rotate through these 5 items for a week. This will spark a curiosity to further understand the book's content, overcoming the hesitation of not having time to read, or thinking the book will take too much time. This curiosity will help you persist. Acquiring new knowledge leads to new ideas. The gap between those who know how to learn and those who don't will continue to widen over time, because those who know how to learn can integrate new knowledge with their existing knowledge. The new knowledge they acquire can then connect with their existing knowledge, gradually expanding their entire knowledge network. With enough accumulated knowledge and experience, there is a possibility of creating new ideas. The author had a stuttering problem since childhood, but teachers at school and his parents only told him to speak slowly. As the condition worsened, the author found a book in a bookstore, claiming it could absolutely cure his stuttering. This self-suggestion relaxation therapy book repeatedly gave himself suggestions, like "my right foot is getting warmer," trying to induce a state of relaxation. Does this method really work? Although skeptical at first, he still gave himself the suggestions. "My hands and feet are getting warmer." Surprisingly, after some time, his stuttering gradually improved. Later, he carefully searched bookstores again and discovered that self-suggestion and hypnosis are formally studied academic fields, with many related books published. This experience made the author deeply realize that there is so much unknown knowledge in this world, even things that teachers and parents don't know. Books can easily provide access to much of this unknown knowledge. Fragmented time is the perfect time for the rapid and massive rotation method. When using traditional reading methods, one typically would use a 15-minute gap to read, but with the rapid and massive rotation method, 15 minutes is enough to rotate through 10 pages of content. Practice questions, especially past exam papers, can be pre-written with answers. To save time searching for the answers, try teaching yourself. It may feel strange and embarrassing at first, but when trying to explain to yourself or others, you will naturally add emotions, gestures, and movements that help you remember the content better. If you want to get a financial planning consultant license, enthusiastically explain investment planning and basic financial planning to yourself. In the process of explaining, your brain will also help you gradually organize and systematize the knowledge, deepening your understanding while also strengthening your memory. Getting used to explaining to yourself will also make you comfortable explaining to others. This is why the self-teaching method is also called the presentation method. Speaking has another major function. It can create a strong desire to understand. It can also help you identify which parts you have already grasped and which parts you still need to strengthen. When you don't know where to start, you may feel lost and unmotivated. But once you identify your learning objectives, a strong curiosity will naturally arise. This curiosity not only enhances your mental focus during reading, but also improves comprehension and memory. If you're thinking you don't have time, and that it's too difficult at your age, then there will be no change. But just try it out first. Utilize fragmented time to start reading. You may still encounter content that you completely don't understand at first. It really is difficult. In that case, just read through it once. Believe that at some point, you will suddenly realize, I get it now. This is actually quite simple. You will then discover, not only will you understand more and more, but from a certain point, your knowledge will suddenly increase exponentially. Then use the self-teaching method to identify what's still lacking and rotate through it again to actively apply the knowledge you've learned. After 100 rotations, you will truly understand the saying, reading a book 100 times reveals its meaning. You may even start to grasp the author's perspective. By actively applying this knowledge, you can elevate your own brain and transform your life.